Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Argentina for season number 2 of Nitro 8-scale buggy racing here on VRC Pro. Getting set to go with our A main right here, your top 10 drivers after qualifying.
3.
That tone getting ready to sound, and off and underway. Here we go. Looks like a flame out for somebody there off the start on that one. Good clean start for your front runners as they're working their way around here for lap number 1. Running the track in a reverse direction compared to what they did at the IFMAR World Championships. And that was Javon Candy with the slow start. So Javon Candy in that Kyosho machine, he's got a lot of working up to do here in this one. Martin Wollanka going to be out front. Wollanka taking some big wins in Austria in the real racing world. VRC Pro Racing definitely paying off for him there. Through the rhythm section he goes, going double-double. In that number 7 car. Starting out front though, Martin Wollanka, one of the dominant forces in VRC Pro Racing. As you can see, working his way around there. There's your second place driver, Wanka. In that pink buggy, up and over the triple section he goes. That's a tricky jump right there, especially in reverse direction. They're actually taking the landing off of that and making it into a takeoff. Javon Candy up into the number 7 spot. Javon had the flame out, it looked like, on the start of this one. He's now up into the number 7 spot. Trying to close the gap up on the rest of the field right now. Wollanka out front right now. Javon Candy in the number 7 spot, chasing down Patrick Hofer in the number 6 spot. Patrick, the team associated driver. Oh, a little mistake there for Javon Candy. Candy trying to close back up on the field right now. Javon Candy definitely a front runner. Kirby Backmeyer in the number 5 spot right now. Battling out 5th and 6th, going to be right there together. Up and over the triple section they go. A lot of time for these drivers left in this one. Martin Wollanka going to be out front. And there you see Backmeyer looking for that inside line. Trying to make a pass back up into 5th now. That's Honkanen and Hofer going to be right there with him. There's Hofer. Hofer goes a little bit wide. Backmeyer to the inside, side by side. Down the back section they go. Kirby Backmeyer with the pass right there. Headed into the rhythm section, going double-double. Backmeyer in that white, orange, and purple. Oh, a little mistake there for Patrick Hofer in that number 5 spot. 6 spot now, I should say. There's your leader, Martin Wollanka, right now out front leading this one. Only 0.6 of a second ahead of second place right now. So Wollanka with a smooth run, but he's definitely got his work cut out for it. Tobias Isaacson in that number 2 spot right now. Isaacson dropping back to 3rd now. Working their way around, honking and back up into the number 2 spot in that hot pink. Oh, Isaacson back into the inside. Isaacson in that yellow buggy down the back stretch. They go up and over the associated tabletop. Into the, oh, Isaacson goes wide. Leaves the door open right there. Markku Honkanen now moving up into the number 2 spot. Honkanen in that hot pink buggy coming down the front stretch in the number 2 spot now. Isaacson dropping back to the number 3 spot. They're going to be about 1.5 seconds back from your leader, Martin Wollanka. Honkanen right now looking nice and smooth here in this one. Started at the number 3 spot and has worked his way up into 2nd here in this one. Leader not out of sight. Still a lot of racing left to go for these drivers. Only 3 minutes down here in this one. Honkanen hugging that inside curb right there. Down the backstretch they go up and over the tabletop. That back straightaway actually has got a little bit of a chicane in it, which from the driver's stand is extremely hard to judge for these drivers. These guys making it look easy here in this one. Honkanen onto the front stretch. He goes now, starting to stretch it out just a little bit now on Isaacson. Isaacson in that number 3 spot. Up and over what I call the backwards triple there. There you saw Tobias there in the number 3 spot. Tobias getting a little loose in these corners, getting a little wide. Cost him a little bit of time. As you can see, Martin Wollanka still out front and back to Javon Candy. Javon Candy all the way up to the number 4 spot now. Javon Candy driving that Kyosho buggy. Down the backstretch he goes, trying to make the pass on Kirby Backmeyer. Oh, and Backmeyer makes a mistake there. Javon Candy up into the number 3 spot. As they're working their way back around to the front side now. Coming down the front stretch. Javon Candy sitting 4th right now. Through the rhythm section. Trying to close the gap up now on Isaacson and Honkanen. So Javon Candy with the flame out right on the start. Let everybody go on the start. Is now catching back up here. Doing work here in this one. Up and over the single section he goes. As you see, the landings on these jumps definitely not forgiving for these drivers if they come up a little bit short. That little double right there we saw in qualifying. Several drivers having trouble, especially in that rhythm section there. You can really see it from the side angle. The track being run in reverse direction, so the landing, typically smaller than the takeoff, is actually being used as a takeoff. So a lot of these jumps, a lot like a step-up section for these guys. And Javon Candy hugging that inside line right there. Good battle here in the 6th place spot. Frederick Bowden chasing down Kirby Backmeyer. And as you can see, these drivers working their way around. Kirby out there in that purple, orange, and blue buggy. Lots of colors going on that one. Onto the backside they go, and there you can see the chicane on the back straight. These drivers making that look easy. From the driver's stand, it looks like a straight shot, just a back straightaway. As you can see from that section right there, there's definitely a big chicane through there. And things are changing up at the front of the pack. Now Martin Wollanka has dropped to the number 3 spot. He may have made an early pit stop here on this one. We'll have to wait and see as it all shakes down. Getting close to those pit stops right now. Marku Honkanen in the number 2 spot. Tobias Isaacson in the lead right now in that yellow buggy. 1, 2, 3 going to be all right there together. Onto the backside they go. Up and over that tabletop. Isaacson running up on the curb there. Through the back rhythm section they go. Oh, and a mistake there for, I believe that was Honkanen. Marku Honkanen making a little bit of a bobble there. As they work their way back around, Honkanen going to be in the number 3 spot now. Dropping back just a little 4 spot, I should say. That is Javon Candy. Javon Candy starting behind everybody here in this one, dead last. And he is all the way up into the number 3 spot right now, Javon Candy. Definitely going to be a favorite here in this one. Can he take a win from the back of the pack? A terrible start for Javon Candy. And putting in a flawless performance so far here in this one. Still a lot of racing left to go. 6:45 down out of this 20-minute race. Onto the right-hand side, there's Javon Candy through the rhythm section. Javon nice and smooth here in this one. Coming back around to the front side. Martin Wollanka going to be back out front now. Javon Candy going to be 1.1 seconds back from our 2nd place driver there, Tobias Isaacson. Isaacson going to be 1 second back from your leader, Martin Wollanka. Wollanka back out front. Your TQ. After a long week of qualifying here in Argentina. Oh, Wollanka making a mistake there. A rare mistake from Martin Wollanka, the Austrian driver right there. Tumbles, lands back on his wheels. A lucky save for him. Still lost time. He's got company coming up behind him now. And into the pits we go. 7:40 down. And there you see 1st and 2nd making their pit stops right now. Javon. Oh! Martin Wollanka with a huge mistake coming out of the pits. Hits the outside pit wall. That's going to cost him huge. Puts it on his lid. He has to get corner-marshaled. He is now in the number 6 spot. We'll wait and see how it all shakes down after all the pit stops. Martin Wollanka onto the backside he goes. Javon Candy going to be out front right now. Oh, and a mistake right there in front of Martin Wollanka. I believe that was possibly Isaacson. Have to wait and see here. Wollanka right now trying to work his way back to the front. Javon Candy going to be your leader right now, but Javon has not made a pit stop yet. We'll have to see how it all shakes down. There's Wollanka trying to look for the inside line on Backmeyer. Down the front stretch they go. Wollanka up into the 3 spot now after drivers start making the pit stop. So Javon Candy going to be out front. Honking in the number 2 spot. Martin Wollanka in the number 3 spot. We'll see if Javon Candy makes a pit stop. And Wollanka right now going to be 6.5 seconds back from 2nd. So that crash in the pits cost him big time on that one. Here is your leader right now, Javon Candy. Through the rhythm section he goes. I do not know if he's pitted yet or not. We'll see if he pits here on this lap. 9 minutes down. I believe he's already pitted, so he is your leader. The Kyosho driver, Javon Candy. Honking into the number 2 spot. Here comes Martin Wollanka. You can see the distance between your leaders. Martin Wollanka trying to catch back up to the front of the pack. Wollanka had such a smooth run going here at the start of this one, but no doubt about it, Javon Candy here in this one, I got to say, my personal opinion is he's got to be the fastest guy on the track. Started behind everybody, not just dead last. Behind everybody and has worked his way and now leading this one. Marku Honk. Oh, and another mistake from Martin Wollanka. Wollanka struggling here in Argentina on this one. And another mistake. Oh, and another mistake. And that turn marshal, he's just not even going to get up from his chair on that one. There you see, there's the first mistake from Martin. He gets it spun back around. And he heads down the back straight. And watch right here. Jumps a little too far to the inside. Spins around and then actually turns the wrong direction. Drops off of the pipe there. The happy turn marshal just sitting right where he's at, not doing a thing about it. Wollanka then getting back on the track on his own. Javon Candy back out front here in this one. And he's got Markku Honkanen right behind him. Honkanen's starting to pick up the pace here in this one. And into the pits they go once again, 10:30 down. So an interesting pit strategy here on this one. Javon Candy pitting on the entrance to pit lane. In and out. Good pit stop for him right there. Honkanen going to take over the lead though. Honkanen with a little bit quicker pit stop for him. Your top two drivers starting to spread it out on the field here in this one. Tobias Isaacson in the number 3 spot. Martin Wollanka in the 4. Dan Marson in the number 5. Just past the halfway mark here in this one. Your top two drivers stretching it out on the field just a bit. Down the backstretch they go now. Markku Honkanen going to be out front through the rhythm section. Look at Javon Candy here. Oh, Javon Candy! What a lucky save right there. We were talking about that earlier. The track running in reverse direction. Hard to get over those takeoffs. There you saw him clip the top, tumble, land back on his wheel. So he's going to lose a little bit of time now. And as I said, he's lost quite a bit of time. Javon Candy dropping back to the 3rd place spot. Tobias Isaacson up into the number 2 spot now. Martin Wollanka the number 4 spot. Wollanka putting pressure on Javon Candy. Wollanka looking for that inside line on him. Into the concrete section they go. This is normally a step up, but they're stepping down off that one. Wollanka charging hard, dives to the inside, side by side. Wollanka taking over the number 3 spot now. Javon Candy dropping back to the 4th place spot. Javon back to the inside though, side by side through the rhythm section. Got to clear that second one. Oh, and just I say that, Martin Wollanka clips the top of the second one. So Martin Wollanka making the same mistake Javon Candy did the lap before, and it definitely cost him on that one. Wollanka still in the 4th place spot, but going to be 1.1 seconds back from Javon Candy now. Candy going to be 0.8 of a second back from Isaacson. As you can see that gap closing up now, but Markku Honkanen trying to stretch out his lead here in this one. Isaacson in the number 2 spot. That all yellow buggy, yellow wheels, yellow wing, yellow body. Onto the back straight they go. Into this rhythm section. The track tricky for these drivers right through this section. Both those drivers make it through there clean. There you see Martin Wollanka trying to sneak up into the picture just a little bit. Coming down the front stretch now. 12:40 down for these drivers. A little less than 8 minutes to go here in this one. Honkanen out front leading the way with a almost 5-second lead. Second and third battling out into that concrete section once again. Around the re-sweeper. Isaacson right now putting in some smooth laps. Javon Candy dropping back just a little bit here these past couple laps. And as you can see, Martin Wollanka still right there in there with him. Oh! Huge mistake for Tobias. Tobias came up a little bit short. And as you can see, over jumps, clips that one just a little bit. And right there, probably should have checked up. And just went single, but instead he went for it, made a mistake. And Wollanka made a mistake as well. So that's going to spice things up here in this one. Martin Wollanka going to take over the number 3 spot now. Isaacson drops to 4th. Javon Candy back up to the number 2 spot. Here's your leader, Markku Honkanen. Honkanen going to be out front in that pink buggy. Honkanen with a 5.8 second lead on Javon Candy. Something's going to have to go. Oh, what a save right there for Markku Honkanen. I was getting ready to say something's going to have to go terribly wrong for Markku here in this one to lose this one. He is looking smooth out front. Javon Candy coming around right now, getting ready to cross the line. We'll see the distance between them. Javon Candy crossed the loop on that one, 5.6 seconds back. So he gained 0.2 of a second on Markku Honkanen in that last one. Martin Wollanka in the number 3 spot. That right-hand side rhythm section, definitely the make-or-break section of this track. Less than 6 minutes to go now. Martin Wollanka is starting to turn up the heat now. The X-Ray driver. Onto the back side of the track they go. Battle for second and third, starting to heat up now. Wollanka charging hard into the rhythm section. Here we go. And both drivers nice and clean on that one. And Wollanka, I believe, made the pass there. Back to the front, though, Markku Honkanen going to be out front here in this one. And indeed he did. Martin Wollanka up into the number 2 spot. Now Javon Candy in the number 3 spot. Up and over that steel cage roller. Tripling into the corner. Javon Candy looking for that inside line. Martin Wollanka looking strong now, right now, running the X-ray buggy. Into the concrete section. Wollanka hugging that tight inside, stepping down. Javon Candy in the Kyosho car. On to the backside. Up and over the tabletop section. Here we go, through that deadly rhythm section. These guys getting through there clean there on that one. And there's our good buddy Dan Marson. Marson in the number 5 spot right now in that yellow and purple buggy. Kirby Backmeyer working his way around in the number 6 spot. Oh, number 5 spot now. Martin Wollanka dropping back to 4th. Dan Marson up into 3rd. I believe Wollanka made a pit stop on that last one. You'll see how this all shakes out here as all these drivers start making yet another pit stop. 16 minutes down, almost. Got about 4 minutes left to go for these drivers in this one. It's going to be an all-out brawl for the last 4 minutes. Can Javon Candy catch up to Markku Honkanen? They're going to be 5.5 seconds apart. Kirby Backmeyer, nice and smooth through the rhythm section. He was sitting in the 5th place spot. We'll see if any other drivers made the pit stops on that last one. He's now up into the 4th place spot, so several other drivers making pit stops. Dan Marson making a pit stop on the last one, it looked like. 16:30 down. And there's Tobias. Tobias in number 5 spot. He was running up front. A leader at one point in this race. He's in the 5th place spot right now, 6.3 seconds back from Kirby Backmeyer. Backmeyer is still going to make his pit stop yet here in this one. Tobias looking pretty smooth here in this one through that rhythm section on the right-hand side. Oh, and I jinxed him right there. Just as I said, he looks smooth. Over jumps, gets a little too far to the outside. Clips it, gets hung in the fence. A good turn marshal there. Got him back going, though. Tobias coming down the front stretch. Dan Marson. Marson in the number 6 spot. Everybody making their pit stops with 7:15 down. And I say that, Patrick Hoffer, the team associated driver, coming in for a pit stop here in this one. Martin Wollanka in that number 3 spot, your TQ. Looked to have this one in the bag to start this race out, but now he's dropped back just a bit. He's trying to catch back up. Javon Candy, the number 2 spot. Markku Honkanen still out front, 4.9 seconds ahead of Javon Candy. Javon Candy could be 4.9 seconds back. Here you see Kirby Backmeyer. Up and over the triple goes Backmeyer. This race winding down here in this one, only a few minutes left to go. Honkanen looking for a big win here in Argentina. Backmeyer hugging that inside curb. Trying to chase down Martin Wollanka, 1.9 seconds back. And there's your leader. Back to the front of the pack we go. Markku Honkanen. Oh, Honkanen with a mistake there on the triple, lands it back on his wheels. We have not seen a mistake like that out of him here in this one so far. Running the X-ray machine. Lands back on his wheels. He's still out front with a solid 7-second lead. So he could probably have another tumble or two here in this one and still be safe. Assuming he doesn't flame out or have just a disastrous final few laps. Honkanen looking for a win here in this one. There you see Javon Candy headed through the rhythm section, the number 2 spot in the Kyosho car. Martin Wollanka in the number 3 spot, driving the X-ray car as well. So it's X-ray Kyosho, X-ray 1, 2, 3. 1 minute left to go for these drivers now. 1 minute left to go. And your top 4 drivers all on the lead lap right now. Honkanen out front, Candy, Wollanka, and Kirby Backmeyer. Backmeyer looking strong here in this one. He started the 7th place spot. Worked his way all the way up into 4th now, chasing down Martin Wollanka. He's going to be 2.1 seconds back from him. 40 seconds left to go on the clock. I don't know if it's going to be enough time. Back to the front of the pack, Markku Honkanen. Honkanen coming down the front stretch now. I believe this is going to be his final time around. Wait and see as they work their way around. There's Martin Wollanka coming around Javon Candy. Javon Candy with a 3.9 second lead on Martin Wollanka in third. Javon Candy going to be 5.1 seconds back from Honkinen. Honkinen coming down onto the middle section now, up and over the roller. All he's got to do is make it to the line clean here in this one. He's looking for a win. Onto the right-hand side. I think if I was him, I would almost single through this section. He goes for it. And time has expired. Coming around. One corner left to go. Your winner here in Argentina, Markku Honkinen. Javon Candy coming around for a well-deserved second. And Martin Wollanka coming around to finish out your top three. What a race here from Argentina. All these drivers putting in a fantastic run here in this one. Everybody finishing up now. Markku Honkinen going to take the win here in this one. Javon Candy second. Martin Wollanka, Backmeyer, Isaacson, Marson, Bowden, Hoffer, and Hallinan.